All right, hey guys, Jason here. Today we're going to just chat for a little bit about hog hunting versus deer hunting. We're at the end of the season now for deer. As I'm recording this, it's like December 20th, I think is what it is. And deer season's starting to wind down. Here we can actually go till the 31st if I travel a little bit inside of Georgia. But we do have spots here where I can hunt through the 31st of January. And I do plan on doing some more deer hunting still. We have a special hunt not far from me that I'm going to be able to take advantage of. It's between Christmas and New Year's for a few days. And then I'm going to probably go to Alabama in January as well, too. Over there for 4 or 5 days, I want to check out some new gear, get some stuff set up for camping setups, and chase some deer over there. So, because I can catch a rut over there. So that's my plan. But deer season, the beauty of deer season is that it's short-lived. Okay, that's the best part about deer season, is that it's a seasonal kind of thing. And that's really a nice feature for me, because hog hunting is actually where my heart lies. That's what I moved down here for. It's what we live down here for now, is for the hog hunting. Hang on, we got a helicopter going by. Military chopper too. Wonder why, huh? Let him go by real quick. But hogs are, this is the reason I am down here. This is what I moved down here for. This is my passion. This is what I love more than anything. And the reasons for it, the reasons that the hog hunting wins for me is because I get to walk it. Okay, tree stand hunting is great but again, that's the beauty of a short deer season. You get out there as much as you can, you hunt as hard as you can during a short amount of time, you do the grind, you go through the work, but realistically, the whole concept of going out and trying to pick a spot you want to get to, and then sitting in there in a stand all day, waiting for a deer to hopefully come by in range, it gets exhaustingly boring. It really does. And I never realized that till I moved down here. Okay, I never realized that, because I thought that's how hunting was done. That's what you did for the most part. Now, we've done other hunts where you walk more, and I loved them, but it was always a deer. Deer hunting is always basically done sitting in a tree or sitting in a stand or something like that. And it's not a bad thing, but it's nowhere near as much fun as putting 7 or 10 miles a day, hiking through swamps and through things like that, and all the neat things that you see, and then walking down the hogs. And then when you do find hogs, being able to try to sneak in on them and make it happen, and then constantly moving with the sign and changing. People are like, well, deer hunting, it takes skill and requirement, and you have to figure out exactly where that deer is going to come to. You're right, you do. There's no doubt about it. With hog hunting, okay, or anything you're still hunting, doesn't matter. I mean, hog hunting is no different than elk hunting. It's no different than moose hunting. Okay, it's no different than caribou hunting. It's no different than any of this kind of stuff. It is the process of using the design that you find to determine the direction you're going to go and how you're going to do it, and then walking up and finding these animals. Okay, hunting them down on foot. That is a process. And hog hunting is the perfect example of that. And it's challenging and it's hard. And then a lot of people think, oh, hogs have horrible eyesight and they can't hear nothing. Both are furthest thing from the truth. The reason they don't see very well is because their eyes are low to the ground. They don't have a long neck that sticks up high like a deer, where a deer can see over vegetation. A hog's eyes are down low, and he's also constantly feeding and rooting, so he's jamming his face in the ground. So you get opportunities where his eyes aren't going to work for you, but make no mistake about it. When a hog sees you, or if he catches your movement, you are busted, and he's really good at it. And he can look underneath the palms and underneath the stuff and see they're a lot better eyesight than you think they are. And then for the hearing, again, they have excellent hearing. The reason they don't hear so well when you're hunting them is because their ears are right here, their face is right here, and their face is buried in there, and they're making a lot of noise. They're also a herd type mentality animal, and there's usually, you could have 6, 8, 10 of them together at once, and they're all making a lot of noise, so they don't hear you as well as they root through stuff. Where a deer will walk through and pick up an acorn and pick up an acorn and pick up an acorn. Hog comes through and plows and wrecks and makes all kinds of noise and is digging and moving stuff with his face, and so they don't hear as well. So they are a great animal to still hunt and beyond for that purposes. However, the nose, Oh, there's nothing in the woods today. There's not an animal in the world today that has a nose that I'm aware of that has a nose as good as a hog does. They can smell you so well and so far away, and then you take into consideration most of the places you're hunting them. You are sweated down from walking. You are wearing bug spray. You got a thermocell running. It's just, it is what it is. And it makes for a very challenging hunt. And I love that about it. So for me, the choice is between being out there walking out there carrying a ton of gear, hiking in, looking to try to find somewhere specific as a feed tree that a deer might come to, or is this the right feed tree, setting up on it, waiting for it to happen. I love doing it. Okay, I love doing it. I love doing it for a short amount of time. Now the hog hunting, I do that year round. Okay, that is all year round. Minimum 3 days a week, even if it's only for 2 hours one day, you know, or sometimes. But I mean, I am out there a minimum of 3 days a week, all year long. And you know, my work style and my lifestyle here doesn't allow me to hunt as much as I actually thought I would when I retired. I still got a lot to do, and there's a lot of videos to be made. I make something like 29 videos a week between these 3 channels. So there's a lot of work that has to be done. So I'm not out there as much as I wish I could be sometimes, but it's nice that I have the luxury of going all year long for the hogs where I live at. In a lot of places you can't do that. In a lot of places in Georgia you can't do that. I specifically live in this house, in this spot, because of the fact of the hunting that's around me. And we chose it that way on purpose. When we bought this, I told Tina, I don't care where you pick the house as long as it's within this certain area. So it gives me that luxury. So I get to hunt hogs year round, and I never get bored hog hunting. Never get burned out. I never get bored. I never get tired of it. I never want it to stop. It's just one of those kind of things because it's always a new adventure every day. I don't have to carry a lot of gear. I get to walk where I want, when I want. If I want to go very slow and do 2 miles in a day, I can. If I want to move faster and check new areas and do 10 miles a day in a day, I can. If I want to run my boat for a while and then pop off and drop in and go run, I can do whatever I want to, but it's freedom. It's freedom of hunting and going and exploring these places, and I straight up love it. And some days you might get into hogs 3 or 4 times. You know, some days you don't see any hogs, but the opportunity is always there, and there's something around the next bend of the river, something around the next tree, something over, you know, across the next slough. There's always something. That's the beauty of hog hunting. Deer hunting, like I said, amazing, incredible. You can also hunt hogs at all hours of the day, anytime you want, just like you can deer. But deer hunting, like I said, you end up walking out there, you find a place, you climb up a tree, you get set in a tree, and then you sit there for tremendous amounts of hours, hoping something happens, climb down, go back, camp, sleep, whatever, come out, do it again the next day. It's a great thing, and we love eating venison, love eating deer meat, and we enjoy the whole thrill of it, enjoy that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, be the first to tell you that if I have a choice between going deer hunting and hog hunting, I'm going hog hunting. And I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my Patreon channel and trying to get as much content as I can for deer, because I know they're so into the deer, I would probably deer hunt. Realistically, I would just do my Midwest. I would turn my Midwest 3-week deer trip into from being a 3-state, 3-week Midwest deer trip, I would turn it into a 4-state Midwest deer trip, and I wouldn't even hunt deer in Georgia. That's what would happen for me personally. I would just spend my Georgia season, even through the deer season and early season, I would just spend it hunting hogs. And then I would travel from like October 20th through November 24th, right before Thanksgiving, and I would just hunt 4 Midwest states for deer, grind it out completely, and then come right back and go straight back into hog hunting. And it may come to that someday. It very well might. Like I said, I got a lot of mad respect and love for deer hunting, but on the same note, I have a whole bunch of just a passion for the hog hunting, I guess I could say. There's nothing better. And it's not just me that's like that. It's funny because I see it in a lot of people. I talked to James the other day. I was talking to him. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to decide if I want to go deer or if I want to go for hog. I think I'm going for hog. I'm like, well, let me know what you end up planning. I'm heading out to go hog hunting right now. He's like, well, that's it. Then I'm going hog hunting. If you're going hog hunting, I'm going hog hunting. And then I talked to Robert literally a half hour later, and I'm like, hey, what are you up to? He's like, I'm heading out hog hunting. It's like, and it's still yet full deer season. See, I mean, it's one of those kind of things. There's a lot of power to it. So for me, hog hunting wins hands down. I could spend the rest of my life wandering these swamps for hogs and never be disappointed about that. And the deer hunting, fantastic, but the hog hunting wins. That's what I got to say here on it. That's my thoughts. So anyway, any questions, comments, put them down below. Thanks for watching.